Hey guys, what's going on? Blossom is back and I hope you are having a great day because today I am having an amazing day. Everything is just going right. Well, per usual, I'll be posting this video on what you can get from that pack. Today's pack that we're going to feature is the German Saloon carbon fiber. So for this video, you can see what you can get from the pack and if you want to open it or not. So with that said, let's get into the video. So starting off the pack is the Mercedes-Benz S400H. Very nice looking car. It used to be a super rare and now it's an ultra rare, obviously due to the standard tire and the decent 0 to 60. Moving on is the Mercedes-Benz S350. Now something I want to add to this series that I haven't really said in the past is the MRA for these cars, and you know, hopefully we'll get to see what their MRAs are. So for the 400H, which was right here, the MRA is about 83. Now, one way to gauge if it's good MRA or not is 60 is bad, and then 90 and over is good. Actually, 88 and over is good. And talking about 88, the Mercedes-Benz S350 4MATIC has an MRA of 88.99. That is actually very good MRA, and it has standard tires as well, so that is very cool. Moving on is the Mercedes-Benz E500. This is a sleeper car and it has an MRA of 88.58. So it is a beast in MRA. However, don't let MRA influence your decisions on a car to keep or not, because at the end of the day, 0 to 60 stats are still 0 to 60 stats, top speed stats are still top speed stats. But I'm just going to add some of the MRAs if they're notable, just so you guys can have to think about. Other cars that you can get from this pack would be the Bmw M5, has an MRA of 77.41, followed by the Bmw 530D. Next up is the Bmw 541, and I have to say guys, this pack has a lot of just BMWs and Mercedeses, right? Moving on is the Bmw 530D. So as you can see, a lot of RQ19 cars and a lot of standard tire cars, which is worrying because in the finals, none of the tracks have rain. So if you do get these cars from that pack, then it's probably going to be fused unless you want to use it in the future. Moving on is our first RQ20, and that is the Mercedes-Benz E430. It has an MRA of 88.73, which is very nice. Followed by the Mercedes-Benz C250D, has an MRA of 75, and that is around the average range. Moving on is the Mercedes-Benz C350E. So that's it, RQ21 right there. Only 2 RQ20 cars you can get from the pack. This Mercedes has a 5.6 0 to 60, 75 handling, and has an MRA of 67.06. So not too amazing, but I would recommend keeping this car because it's one of those rare cars that has an eco-friendly tag. Also standard tires. Moving on is the Mercedes-AMG C55. It has a decent MRA of 79.37 and a decent 0 to 60 of 5.0. However, not as good as the Bmw M5, which has a 0 to 60 of 4.9 and a MRA of 76.49. Now this car is actually very strong. I have this maxed out at 996, goes down to 4.0, 0 to 60, 85 handling, or if you want to do 969, it's 4.1, 0 to 60, 87 handling. It's a strong car, it really is. Medium clearance as well. Moving on is the Audi S6. 5.5 0 to 60, 79 handling, and 155 top speed. It has a 0 to 60, not 0 to 60, MRA of 78.57. Ooh, I was wrong? No, I was correct about that. It was the Audi S4. This car, however, has very weak MRA. It has 56.99 MRA, which is definitely on the lower section. However, it is 4-wheel drive, 80 handling, 5.3 0 to 60. But in all honesty, guys, looking at the tracks, there's no rain, no dirt. It's just all asphalt and dry. So I would say cars I would recommend would be rear wheel drive performance tire cars. So that's just my opinion, however. Moving on, we are going into the epic section. So starting off with the Mercedes-AMG S65, 4.20 to 60 and 77 handling with a very impressive MRA of 88.94. Moving on is the AMG S63, no MRA stats on this, however the 0 to 60 time does look very nice as well. Not as good as the S65 we just saw before, however. Moving on is the AMG E55. This car has very strong MRA, 91.81 to be exact, has a 0 to 60 at 4.5 and a handling of 79. If I were you, I would probably max this car out 996 because it looks like it is quite the drag king. Moving on, however, talking about drag kings would also be the 57 S Maybach. It has an MRA of 93.2, 0 to 60 of 4.7 and has standard tires as well. Along with this is a car I have maxed out, used to be ultra rare and used to be RQ24, but now it's RQ23. It's the BMW 335D. This car has disgusting MRA, 54.3. That is the lowest so far we've seen. However, it is 4-wheel drive and has a good 0 to 60 of 4.5 and a top speed of 155. Handling is mediocre. It's okay. Oh, the BMW also is medium ground clearance, so that's also pretty good. Moving on is the first RQ24 car on the list, and that's the AMG E63S, MRA of 74.49, followed by the AMG E63. This has an MRA of 84.03 and has a very nice 0 to 60 of 4.3, however, not as good as the car before. Oh no, that had 4.3 as well. Moving on is the Bmw M5. It has a 0 to 60 of 4.5, and this was a car I just got recently. I think just yesterday I got this recently, and it has a very good MRA of 89.46. Very nice car this, 80 handling as well with a top speed of 155. Moving on is one of my favorite cars, however, it's not useful in the finals, unfortunately, but it is a very, very good car for anybody's garage, and it is the BMW 740D. It does have very weak MRA, however, and a lot of BMWs seem to have that. The MRA on this car is 55.05, which is so bad, but it is 4-wheel drive, and it is standard tires, and it is medium clearance, and it does have a okay 0 to 60 of 5.1. Moving on is the Audi S8. Once again, 4-wheel drive car, but I wouldn't say, just like the 740D, it's not that useful in the finals compared to other cars. Moving along is the Audi S4, as well as the BMW M5. Now, this was a car I talked about in my garage tour, and I think it has a lot of potential. Truly, I think it has a lot of potential because it is medium ground clearance and has the same 0 to 60 as a Hellcat. However, the MRA is completely different. The Hellcat's MRA is 100 and 102, while the MRA for the M5 is 82.45. Not as good, but still a respectable score. Moving on is the BMW M3 CRT. It has an MRA of 83.37 and has a 0 to 60 of 4.2, and it does have very, well, I wouldn't say very good, but it has good handling of 85. Moving on, guys. Now, this is one of those packs where I can guarantee you do not want to get any of the legendaries. You can only get 2 legendaries from this pack, and they're both some of the worst in the game, really, truly. The only 2 legendaries you can get in this pack are Porsches, and they're both Panameras. Yikes, that's bad. The first one is the Panamera Turbo, which is arguably one of the worst legendaries in the game. And I mean, you know, I haven't gotten a legendary in a long time, and if I do open this pack and I get a legendary, I don't know what I'm going to say, because I don't know. This is a legendary I don't want. It's a legendary a lot of people don't want. Followed by this is the Panamera Turbo from 2017. I got this 2 years ago, actually. I mean, maxed out, this can be a strong car because it has low 0 to 60 and it has okay-ish grip. 4-wheel drive, medium clearance as well, but what are the odds that you're actually going to max out this legendary if you have, let's say, the 12C from the campaign, or, you know, for, in my case, the 918, the Demon? Like, this car is so low down the list for me to max out. Like, it'll probably never be maxed out. So this is just a very disappointing car, and it will lose to the next 2 cars you can get from this pack, which are the Audi Rs7 Sportback, which has a amazing MRA of 92.49, 0 to 60 of 3.7 and 85 handling, medium clearance and 4-wheel drive. better than the both Porsche Panameras. And finally, the Audi S8 Plus MRA of 88.89 with a 0 to 60 of 3.6 and handling of 85, which once again is better than both Porsche Panameras. So if I were you guys, the cars that I would want to get the most from this pack would either be both of these Audis or the CRT, as well as the 740D. But with that said, as per usual guys, I'm going to show you all the cars you can get from this pack. And yep, no talking, and make sure to pause whenever you want. Well guys, that is it. Those are all the cars from that pack. But one, I'm actually missing one car which I'm going to jump into the game and show to you. Probably in a later video. But yeah, those are most of the cars you can get from that pack. I think the only car that I'm missing out, because I have the whole Top Drives Club list out here and I don't know how I missed it, is the Mercedes-AMG E63 S from 2015. It has 3.90 to 60, 80 handling. It's an RQ24 Epic. It's not that bad. I'll probably show it in my next video. But will I open this pack? To be honest, I will open this pack. However, should you guys open this pack, I would say no. By any means, compared to the other packs or special packs that we've seen, this is not an amazing pack. There are a lot of cars that aren't going to be useful in the finals. And the only reason I want to, and the legendaries that you can get is just horrendous. The only reason I want to open this pack is I actually want to get ultra rares. So I can max out my epics. But besides that, there's no real reason to open this pack in my opinion. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, this is a video of what you can get from the pack. And with that said, I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Blossom out.